I'm gonna tell you about some people that I've cut off and why I feel so relaxed right now. I feel so relaxed. Now, there's a little bit going on dealing with some people, like one person, because it was so offensive to me after they received a gift from me, how they responded to it. And it brought back a lot of memories as far as how I was treated by my dad and my very terrible sister. Both of them are psychopaths. And despite that, that's something kind of going on in the background of my mind and of my life. The stuff that's up front, I have been able to resolve. I had a friend, and he was going to be part of BOR, one of my productions that's going to be taking place home in LA. So I'll be home in LA at the end of the year. Very exciting. Very excited about it. Now, with this guy, he spoke to me in a way of which you do not speak to someone, especially me. Especially if I allowed him onto my project. And though we've been close for over a decade, especially the last year and a half or so when I cut him off, he was acting as though it was his project. And he could not check himself or put himself, you know what I mean, in his own place. He couldn't do it. And then he started projecting his problems and his views on me. You see, this production, the staff, especially the talent, is going to be treated very well. Very well. No flirtation, no gawking, no making them feel uncomfortable. They're going to be treated with respect and dignity um, while they model some great new fashion. And because he made it clear I could not trust him, there's no way that he was going to obey the rules, to not be flirtatious and not be pushy with the talent, he had to go. He had to go. It's not just about protecting the production, but it's also about protecting those individual human beings and making sure that they know they're in a safe place where they're respected and treated well, where they can have fun, have great food, enjoy time with good people, and leave talking about how much they enjoyed it, how great of a time they had. You know, it's about creating those good memories for them. And that's what I want. So I actually fired him by text and I let him know that he's not going to treat me that way again. And I was originally going to talk to him, but it was such a lost cause and it was so unacceptable. I viewed that as being a waste of time. So he's gone. That helps me a great deal with reducing stress. A great deal. Another one is a friend in Wisconsin. She has been in an abusive narcissistic relationship, and because I have a lot of past trauma with that, I want to save people from that situation. The problem here is she is not trying to get out. He will be physically abusive and she does not call the cops. She does not like him. He steals her money. She does not try to get it back. She doesn't fight him for it or anything or tell him to put it fucking back right now. She doesn't call the cops. She doesn't do anything. But she'll go and complain, oh, he found the money you paid me for this gig that I was hiding, and he came out and he wiggled it from my face saying, look what I found. I'm going to go buy cigarettes and alcohol. And it's just like, okay, and what did you do? Nothing. He wants a response from me, so I didn't do anything. What the hell is wrong with you? Stand up for yourself. So the reason I did not cut her off a few years ago is because I am debt free because of her. It took a few words of encouragement when I was still married to my ex wife, dealing with a lot of her abuse. And she was abusive. Really bad. Really bad. Completely unhinged, chaotic, narcissistic. Like as far as covert narcissist, really, really bad. Really bad. So with this, wow. So sometimes that happens. I'm getting horrible memories of my ex-wife and the abuse I went through. If I move my eyes around like that, it helps me process and get past it. Where was I? Oof. Uh, because she told me when I told her that there's actually no way out of this. I can always find a way out of everything, and I can always, you know, do something. In this case, there's nothing I can do. She said, "Yes, you can. You're the most resilient person I've ever known." And that's what she said. And that's all it took for me to say, "You're right. I need to turn my brain back on." And within seconds, I thought bankruptcy. So I got online, I looked it up, I took the means test, and it turned out that I heavily, easily qualified for bankruptcy. Like, really qualified rather easily. So I called up an attorney that day, got it through, and because of that I was able to get my divorce, and then she attacked me when I filed for divorce, and I was able to get a place and escape her. Um, so because my former friend said that, I continued to help her out when she was down, but what I was doing was I was encouraging her to continue with that behavior and that lifestyle. So finally, um, she does not message anyone when that abusive guy is home. So she needs to learn to. She needs to learn when she's in her room alone or whatever and she's away from him to text people, let them know she's okay, what's going on. I did not hear from her for 5 days. So in that case, she could be killed or something. You never know with this guy. He's extremely abusive. So I finally sent her a message that said that I said, you are the most unreliable person I have ever known of, which is true. I've never met or known anyone so unreliable as her. My ex wife was close, and a lot of other, usually women in the Midwest, are really close. And it's weird because I didn't know there could be a full group of people within a region that are just so unreliable that you wait for years and years and years and they just never produce, even though they say they're going to. It's amazing. It's really amazing. But with her, after I paid her and everything, she never did the job. At the end, I think I've sent her a few $1,000s. I'm not sure the total amount. But to do that and never get for her to never even think about performing the service and putting together the logo that she could paint or draw up in minutes, it's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So when I sent that message to her, as far as you're the most unreliable person I've ever known of, she sends, so and so, the guy she's currently with, who's abusive, is still home right now, dude, with dude. And I responded back with, well, you need to effing communicate that. I'm sick and tired of this. You're cut off. You are cut off. I'm not giving you anything else. I've paid you for jobs and services, what you've never done and never do. She didn't even respond back to that. She just doesn't care. In her mind's like, well, I got everything I could from that person money wise. And it's like, some people are like that. They can perform a little bit, 5 minutes worth of work, and still start getting money and everything. But they want to make a statement. They want to make a point that they're not going to do anything for you at all, and they still want to try and get money from you. And that's how it was with this girl. So I had to cut her off. After I cut these two people off, the amount of stress that I had dropped down over 95%. Just gone, just gone. And now I have a little bit of stress, of course, from that other situation of someone doing something nice for them and them doing something that's just completely wrong. You know, it was just really rude and inappropriate and just made me feel like I don't have value, which I know I don't really have much value. When you don't have really friends or family, you don't really have much value. But I make a huge difference on this planet. I've saved many lives. I've saved many children from harm. I've gotten laws passed and stuff like that. So my goal is just to be as effective as possible in order to protect and save society for the people who do have things, families and friends that they don't want to lose, you know. But that's what was so difficult for that was the reminder of someone that I thought was probably a good person and probably is a good person still, that I don't even have any value to them. And that was just really painful to come to terms with. It's like, you know what? If I reach out, I just get a reminder that I'm not worth anything and that people don't care about me and that they don't mind if they cause me harm, and it really is terrible. It really is terrible.